You're about to watch a video that's an excerpt of one of my online courses, free sample if you will. If you enjoy it, please get in touch, dan@brojo.org, and let me know what you think. But in this video, I just wanted to recap some of the beliefs that we're really challenging in this course. I'm not asking you to be like a serial killer in this course. I'm not advocating for manipulation or treating people badly, squashing people's selfishness. What I'm advocating for is to cherry pick and dial in certain psychopathic traits to overcome even worse traits that are inauthentic and people pleasing. So let's have a look at some of the beliefs that we've challenged in this course. Pleasing others is likely what got you to this point in your life. I want you to stop for a second and go, how did that work out for me? How well did that go? Are they actually pleased? Are you genuinely satisfied and content with who you are? Do you look at all the areas of your life and think, man, all of these are at least an 8 out of 10. I'm crushing it. Do you have high self-worth? Do you have quality relationships? If pleasing others, the opposite of psychopathy, is the best way to act, then why is it so miserable? Why does it not work? And if psychopathy is indeed so awful, why is it that psychopaths generally enjoy their lives far more than anybody else does? Maybe they know something we don't. Being fearful and afraid keeps you safe. No, it doesn't. Fearful people actually get hurt more. I used to work with criminal offenders, violent offenders. They're more attracted to people who are afraid than people who are confident. They're not looking for a challenge. So you're more likely to invite abuse and violence into your life if you're fearful of it, if you're fearful of confrontation, if you avoid conflict. Think of it like riding a bike. In order to stay upright on a bike, you really have to go a bit faster, obviously until you're really good at it. But if you go too slowly when you're learning to ride a bike, you're going to fall over. So if you're too fearful and hesitant, you actually put yourself at higher risk. This applies to almost anything: snowboarding, driving, surfing. If you're fearful and hesitant, you're actually higher risk. So this kind of grabbing yourself by the spine and just going for it bravely is safer than tiptoeing into something. Overthinking. How many of you have put lots of thought into trying something new and not seen how pointless that is? If this thing is new to you, if you're unfamiliar with it, then there's no wisdom in here about it, right? Or otherwise it wouldn't be new and unfamiliar. So you're sitting there overthinking, sorting through a library of information that's useless. There's no expertise in there. So it might make sense to you in your head that you got to think of something carefully before you do it. But the simple truth is, if you don't know anything about it, then thinking isn't going to help because there's no information. And if you do know a lot about it, then thinking isn't going to help because you've got instinct. There's very little thinking required for action. Just have a guess at what the best move is and act on it. Make a mistake, clean up the mess, develop wisdom. At no point is overthinking helpful. Needing others' validation and approval. Nearly all of us were conditioned to believe that we need this. Social proof. We need other people to think that what we're doing is a good idea and that they need to think of us as good people. You know, there's an old saying that punks are good people pretending to be bad and hippies are bad people pretending to be good. Generally speaking, people pleasers, the most sort of intense ones, the ones that are putting on the biggest effort to be liked, are often the most awful people on the inside. They're very self-centered, narcissistic, egotistical, willing to harm others to get what they want. Whereas the truly altruistic people, the ones who really do good in society, are rarely polite or people-pleasing. They don't fit in, they don't conform. It's their authentic kindness that you're getting. You have the answers in you. All right? You don't need other people to point the way. You need to do trial and error and calibrate based on your experience and your own judgment of what you're doing. Other people only know what they prefer you to be, which is not necessarily what's best for you. In fact, it probably is not. And finally, to put yourself first is selfish. It's harming others. I don't know how many times and how many ways I can say this. If you don't put yourself first, then your lesser self is what helps others. It's that old analogy about putting on your oxygen mask in the plane before you help the passenger next to you. If you're suffocating, then you're going to provide the help of a suffocating person. It's going to be panicky, weak support. You're actually putting their life at risk. If you just take 30 seconds to get your own mask on, yes, they might pass out, but then you'll be able to get their mask on and everybody lives. Most of what people are going to get from you is modeling, all right? It's not about actively intervening in people's lives. That's not what really helps them. Give them something to aspire to. Show them how it's done. Right? The best thing you can do for others is live life really well and let them watch. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's actually one of the most cosmopolitan, altruistic things you can do. Trying to take care of others is really just trying to control people so that you feel comfortable. How selfish is that? Generally, people view psychopaths as bad people because that's how they're portrayed in the movies. And yes, there are some awful ones. Psychopathy can lead to the most evil behavior you've ever thought of. But so can people pleasing. So can trying to fit in. So can trying to be what your parents want you to be. That can also lead to very harmful behavior, if not to others, to yourself. But there is a way where we can look at the most confident people on the planet, psychopaths, and extract helpful information from what they're doing and challenge the unhelpful beliefs that we clearly have. And find this middle ground where we've got all the best traits and all the best beliefs with none of the bad bits. That's what this course is all about. So let go of your ego attachment to beliefs that are not beneficial to you or others, the lies that you've been following your whole life. And also let go of the lies that people who are taking care of themselves and confident and courageous are somehow selfish jerks. That's not true. There are certain traits that you can live by at certain times to a certain extent that are very healthy and helpful for everyone involved. That is what this course has been all about.